How's it going, guys? Welcome back into live streamed at Silver Hall. My name is Rob Van Auken. I am the box office and marketing manager here at the Milton and Tamar Maltz Performing Arts Center on the campus of Case Western Reserve University. Tonight, we have Diana Chittester. She is on stage right now, ready to go. Before she starts, so we do have two quick things for you. The first is what you are going to see on your stream throughout the show tonight. Throughout the show, you'll see the lower third of your stream pop up with information about Diana, her social media pages, her website, and where you can donate to her. If you are able to, please do consider donating. $1, $2, $5, anything helps these performers who have been without paying gigs for upwards of 6 months at this point. Again, if you are able to, please do consider donating. We're also going to ask that you help out the Maltz Center. All you have to do to help us out is subscribe to our email list. You can do it right on our website. It is case.edu/maltzcenter. Right on the homepage there, you can sign up. We send out one email a week. It's information about this show and other shows that we have going on throughout the year. Again, that's case.edu/maltzcenter. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Our handle is @maltzcenter. Thanks again for tuning in, everybody. And now live streamed at Silver Hall, it's Diana Chittester.
It's been feeling like a battle more and more when I go outside. People bound and shackled down to a trap called life. Oh, I'm wanting free. Oh, freedom. I escape to my imagination now just to get me by. Getting by just to follow lines, not quite what I had in mind. Oh, I'm wanting free. Oh, freedom, till that constant learns to change. I'm gonna get away. I'm going wild, yeah, now for me. I'm going wild, completely. When that sun comes up, I'm taking off. Gonna make the train jump its track. No more fighting for survival, no more taking another's path. Oh, I'm wanting free. Oh, freedom, till the constant learns to change. I'm gonna get away. I'm going wild, yeah, now for me. I'm going wild, yeah, now completely. In life, there ain't no second chance, no time to do it again. So take your risk and take your chance and break far from that plan. Oh, and run free until the constant learns to change. I'm gonna get away. I'm going wild, yeah, now for me. live stream viewers out there, and thank you for joining me this evening. Truly is a pleasure to be back playing again, being back on the stage, and especially in this amazing hall. I know that you can see a little bit of it back there as the backdrop, but being in this room is just something completely different. And when it does reopen and we are back to some sort of normalcy, I hope that you'll make a point to make sure you see a show here live, because it is just a stunning, stunning theater to be performing in tonight. I miss many of you, and I wish that I was able to see some of the comments and maybe some of the hellos that are coming in on this live stream right now. But it is good to find ways to connect in any way that we can. So again, thank you for joining me here, and thank you to the Maltz Performing Arts Center for putting this incredible concert series together. I'm gonna play a song that I wrote, it was back in 2016. It was surrounding the then political climate. But there's a very significant message to this song. The reason that I wrote it was not so much to write a political agenda in any way, or try to talk to people about choosing sides, but more importantly, the title of the song is In the Middle. Because what I think we do have to watch, especially around this time of year, is how divided we can often become. And in this song, when I first started writing it, the first two verses of the song were actually me calling out some different points of view that I didn't agree with. And I put the song on pause for a little while because I realized how I had become sort of a victim to my own concerns of how we were dividing as a culture. So in verse 3, I put out a plea to all of us to keep in mind that during these tough times, these challenging times, these times that are good for discussion and good for conversation, but try to remember to hold on to those relationships, because standing strong and being in the middle is the only thing that can ever truly unite one extreme side to the other. I've got this feeling I'm not the only one no more who is out to settle every score, who is demanding be fair to the us that were maybe given less than chance, so that we the privileged can advance. So I'm coming for theirs, but the ones who rule with an upper hand, and all those who are giving it all to chance, till that world quits spinning. I can't keep letting them win. You've got this way with your words, I swear you're taunting me. Maybe you're just wanting me to be crazy and out of control, yeah. So you can disassociate yourself, put it all on someone else, then blame when it's wrong the ones who rule with an upper hand, and all those who are giving it all to chance, till that world quits spinning. I can't keep letting them win. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I think you're under Estimating this overtaking, baby, hesitating won't be making any of us ever come clean. And so before you're off to declare war, divide ourselves up even more. Stand in the middle and rise with the ones who rule with an upper hand, and all those who are giving it all to chance till the world quits spinning. I can't keep letting them win. Ooh, yeah, until that whole world shifts. In the middle is where I stand. All right, I'm gonna swap out these guitars here real quick. If we are just meeting for the first time tonight, it's I usually am on stage performing solo. I have been very fortunate in the past year or so to have a very talented and dedicated band that I performed with after I released an album called Paradox. And a lot of the music on that was best presented with a full band. So a lot of the performances that I did were with a full band. But for years, my performing was solo. And because I worked as a solo artist, especially in bars, a lot in the beginning of my career, I had to experiment with as much of the instrument as possible to try to almost imitate the energy or the feel of a full band when I was on stage. And it was a couple years ago that I drove down to New Orleans and I recorded my first acoustic album. It was called Find My Way Home, and the approach on that album is that I wanted to create a very live feel on a studio record. So I went down to New Orleans and I worked with an engineer named Goat. And I worked with him. I selected him because one of my favorite live albums of all time is an album called Living in Clip by Ani DeFranco. And he was one of the sound engineers that toured while she was recording that record and then was instrumental in producing that record. So I seeked out this guy, Goat, and I went down to New Orleans and I stayed there for 4 days. And we recorded about 12-hour days straight through. We'd have coffee in the morning, and then we started. And I sang every single song, just the guitar and vocal. I sang it as many times as I felt I needed to, and we took the best of each performance. So normally when you record, you're in a studio and you can redo things many, many times. We have these things called punch-ins, so if I make a mistake, we can go back and re-record over top of it, and you definitely get a much cleaner presentation of work. But prior to all the digital stuff, we used to record in analog, and which meant that you had to get the rawest form, but you had to be very ready and prepared when you went in to record. And so that was the approach that I took when I was recording this record, so that I would get this very raw, almost live sound in a studio setting. We had microphones set up around me, and everything that you heard on that record was being played in the moment. So I want to play you a song from that all-acoustic record, Find My Way Home. I'm going to play you a song where I try to imitate the band, everything from the kick drum to the snare to the bass to the lead guitar to, of course, rhythm and vocal on this next song called Take It Back. You were a world that I could hide in. I should have known to build my own. You were someone I could rely on. Until one day you were gone. And now that you're cutting off all ties, I have to wonder, what was I in this game you played? Just as a tornado touching ground, I've been crazy, now I'm bound to be unpredictable. So take it back, oh take it back. I can't live without it all. This is my whole world crashing down. Take it back, so take it back, oh take it back. I can't live without it all. I'm gonna need you just to stay, oh yeah. You were someone who I could belong to. How many more belong to you? With just this little slip of tongue, I am wondering why I'm wronged. And now what I'm gonna do. And now that you're getting off on lies, I have to wonder, what was I in this game you played? Just as a tornado touching ground, I've been crazy, now I'm bound to be unpredictable. So take it back, oh take it back. I can't live without it all. This is my whole world crashing down. Take it back, so take it back, oh take it back. I can't live without it all. I'm gonna need you just to stay, oh yeah. Take it back, baby. I can't live without it. I'm gonna need you. Take it back, baby. I can't live without it. I'm gonna need you. So take it back, oh take it back. I can't live without it all. This is my whole world crashing down. Take it back, so take it back, oh take it back. I can't live without it. I'm gonna need you. Well, just to stay, yeah. So I'm going to try something new for you. If you've ever seen my show before, you know I'm a guitar player. But since we've been in quarantine, I've been trying to learn a couple new tricks. So I'm going to shift over here to the piano to play some new music that I've been working on. So my mother is a pianist. She's brilliant on the piano. When we were young,
I have 3 siblings, and all of us, I think she tried to get all of us to play piano at some point in our lives. And I started out on track, but somewhere along the way I picked up the guitar, and most of what I had learned on the piano sort of got lost for a little while. So I always felt that I owed it to my mother, now that I work as a musician, that I owed it to her to learn the piano, become better on the instrument, and start using it a lot more on stage. So I've been on a mission to do that, and that's partly what led to this next song. But also, I have been married since 2015, and I've been in a relationship with the same person for 12 years now. We're going on 12 years. Now, as a songwriter, falling in love can create a dilemma. Most of the songs that I write, a lot of times I write about love gone wrong, or write about the dark side of relationships, and I often had to retrieve memories of bad breakups or bad relationships so that I could write those songs. The dilemma for a songwriter when they fall in love is that you become happy and things are good. And a lot of the content when we write music, a lot of times we don't identify or relate so much with those who have happiness in their life. We like those dark sounds, myself included. So I found it as a challenge to try to figure out a way to write a love song that wasn't going to be a cliche love song. I didn't want to use phrases like, "You took my hand and I understand," or I wanted to write a love song, though. And actually, now that I'm saying love song, that's not what this is. I wanted to write a relationship song because, for me, having a relationship is what's most important. My relationships in my life are what are most important to me, but specifically to who I'm married to. And I say that because having that as my foundation makes everything else possible and manageable. I've worked to be a musician since I was 14 years old. Everything in my life has revolved around being a musician. And when COVID hit, it put a lot of plans and expectations, things that we were looking forward to. Everything has come to a halt. But it is survivable for me because I have my wife to lean on. And when I wrote this song, the song Fall Into Me, I was trying to put into words what it means to honestly be in love with someone. What it is that makes you say, I want to marry this person and live with them the rest of my life. And I think what is the most important thing in a relationship is that it's somebody who knows you better than anybody else. It's somebody that you can honestly be yourself, be vulnerable, cry in front of, be sad, be angry. You can be truly honest in front of that person, and that person will always accept you for who you are, unconditionally. And I think one of the most endearing things that you can do for somebody that you truly care about is something that I refer to as freezing time. This means that you block out the rest of the world. Nothing else matters. When this person is relying on you and needing you in the way that they need to be heard, they need to lean on you, you can block out anything else. Your phone, your to-do list, your work, it doesn't matter. Nothing else in the world matters except for that person and what they need from you in that moment. And so that is what I tried to capture in this next song. I wrote this for my wife on our anniversary, on our 10-year anniversary. This is a new song called Fall Into Me. I know you're strong. The whole world is wrong, but baby, will you please just lay it down? You've carried it on your own. The coast is clear and now you're home. So baby, will you please just lay it down? And oh, to be. So let it all out on me. Heartache, it only hurts. You're safe behind locked doors. So baby, will you please just let it go? 'Cause tears, they only saturate us. They weigh us down with pointless anguish. So baby, will you please just let it go? Lay it all out on me. And oh, well, this too shall pass. Oh, until it does, lean into us, darling. Oh, I'll be what you need. And all else can wait. So lay it all out on me. So who knows you better now? I swear no one will ever find out. 'Cause I'll never say you cried. Lie here with our thoughts hushed. For a moment pretend it's only us. But tomorrow we're back to join the fight. And oh, fall on me, 'cause I can make time freeze. And I have nowhere to be. So let it all out and lay it all on me. Love songs. All right. Let's get back to the angst. Let's begin where we start, is on that line between your passion and trying to be something you're not meant to be. As you move on slowly, your clock ticks on, there's no time to stop, no way to turn it all around. If you're wrong, but I can't deny it for too long. You know I'm trapped in it now. What I give is a lifetime and then some.
as you sway side to side. Now you're balancing over only dreams, wondering just how bold and brave crazy can be. But I can't deny it for too long. You know I'm trapped in it now. What I give is a lifetime, and then some. Still I'm hoping it all won't fall down. It won't crumble. I'm regretting now everything I gave and what I'm paying for when I said I can make it on my own. Choice is yours, but be cautioned if you choose wrong and bet it all. You might just learn how naive all that hope can be. But I can't deny it for too long. You know I'm trapped in it now. What I give is a lifetime, and then some. Still I'm hoping it all won't fall down. It won't crumble. I'm regretting now everything I gave and what I'm paying for when I said I can't make it on my own. So in addition to learning piano and bread making and learning how to build a subfloor, I have been working on new music. I've been trying to keep busy since quarantine happened, and a lot of the new ideas and a lot of the new music that I've been working on, I've been putting out so far just on a Patreon page that I have. The Patreon page is sort of designed for people that enjoy the process of what I do, the songwriting, the stories behind the songs, how I create, and how I approach my instrument. And so I've created this page through this platform, Patreon, that allows me to sort of share the behind the scenes of everything that I do that doesn't always make its way to the stage. So a lot of the new music that I've been creating and putting out goes straight to the Patreon page, and only the supporters have had access to it until now. So some of the new music I've been eager to share with you, and the direction of it it's interesting. I have noticed in my writing there have been chapters to my writing. There have been different emotions, and what seems to be coming to the surface now is almost along the lines of reflection. So the newest song that I have it's called Ive Won, and I wrote it based off of those moments in heated arguments, debates, where maybe I didn't always choose to do the right thing. It's hard to admit that sometimes, but truthfully there are many mistakes that I've made, and among those mistakes sometimes I've chosen to weaponize words, for example, that I knew would just help me do as much damage as possible in the moment. And a lot of times, after those heated
debates and arguments, we look back on them and we almost don't recognize the person we were in that. And that's what this song is about. It's coming to terms with that, recognizing that I didn't always choose the right path. And there were many people along that path that I harmed, and more so with words, with anger. And that is, I think, best described as a war that you've won. You do a lot of damage, you won, but you did a lot of damage. So this is a new song. It's about forgiveness. Walked into open fire again. This time my head held high. A knowing of the awaiting consequence to my foolish, selfish pride. In the moment, I did whatever to survive, justified with confidence. So I shot off any word I could weaponize to anyone without defense. The smoke, it clears my innocence, it ends. Oh, what have I done? How can I forget all this harm that I've caused? And who am I now? How can I forgive myself for this war I've won? I swore off any convictions of blame. I refused apology. I remained calloused and unaffected by the pain until that silence haunted me. The smoke, it cleared, I scream in disbelief. What have I done? How can I forget all this harm that I've caused? And who am I now? How can I forgive myself for this war I've won? Admission, Lord, I know there's more I could have done. I could have chose to save a life, but in the moment and of my options, I chose one. The only life I saved was mine. The smoke, it cleared and I see who I've become. What have I done? How can I forgive all this harm that I've caused? for this war. I've won. Oh, I've been heading down that pathway. Oh, the one, it took me far and distant. And I am hoping that this call for truth will lead me home to the place that I had left. Oh, there's been some time and I have been changing. I've had myself a new beginning. I'm tired of dodging those bombs from my past, so I'm headed home to lay them all to rest. It's been a while since he's called me daughter. Over an understanding he wished she could feather. I am hoping that the sweet surrender will take me back to the place that I had left. 'Cause I've had the many miles of my directions. I can't say I led with the best of intentions. Will take me back to the place that I had left. Hallelujah, oh yeah, hey, yeah, yeah, hey. Hallelujah, hallelujah, oh, hey, yeah, yeah, hey. Hallelujah. This war's got me in two directions. I got something good, but not a whole lot left to give. So I'm hoping that by lowering these expectations, I'm taking back. Oh, there's so much more to this, and I'm hoping I'm finding my way home. Oh, now again. I've reached that cabin in the woods now. Oh, the one between the trees and shadows. I can't get through those locked doors and windows, cutting off the life that lives inside. So I'm heading back those pathways. Oh, the ones that took me far and distant. I am hoping that this call for truth will lead me on. That's the way I'm moving in. Hallelujah. Oh, yeah. Hey, yeah, 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 hey. Hallelujah. Well, again, I want to thank all of you that are watching right now for tuning in tonight, checking out the live stream. Music is going to continue to happen every Wednesday and Sunday night through this concert series. So don't make this your last visit to Silver Hall. I'm going to go back to that acoustic album that I put out a few years back. There's a song I wrote called Doing Fine, and for years I told the story. I talked about how I had started traveling and touring as a musician, and I discovered this whole new world, and I wrote this song about discovering this whole new world, but I think the detail that I left out in always talking about what this song is about is the metaphors that are written within the verses of the song. There's a movie, an M. Night Shyamalan movie called The Village. I think it came out when I was in high school. And this is a little bit of a spoiler alert if you have not seen this movie. But the movie is about this little village that is haunted, or there are monsters in the woods. And if you go too far into the woods, then the monsters will get you. And at the end of the movie, you realize that this little village, which you think is taking place in maybe the 1800s, sometime way back when, that this is a present day. Everything's happening in present day. And that really these monsters were hired by people in the town, or more so they are people, members of the town dressed in costumes. And they were scaring people. They were scaring people so that they would not go outside these borders and these boundaries that they put up in this village. So they never knew that outside world. When I was growing up, I grew up in some small towns scattered throughout Pennsylvania. And there are a lot of good things about growing up in small towns, but unfortunately one of the downsides can be that a lot of my outside world was delivered to me through media. A lot of the big cities and entertainment was coming through television and magazines. And working musicians, for example, around me were choir directors in my school or band leaders in my school, and there was really no such thing as a touring working musician in my neighborhoods. And so a lot of what I knew to be real was what was in my town, and anything outside of that was being delivered through these media sources was almost fictional in a sense to me. And it put me in this part where so much of my young adolescent life, and even unfortunately some of my early adult life, most of my life was almost in a dream world. I was always dreaming fantasies. I had these illusions and ideas of how things would be if I ever got out someday. So when I started playing music and we got our first show in Chicago, I remember having this fear that came over me of, well, I can't go to Chicago. I've never been there, and I don't know how to get there, and then where am I going to park the car, and the craziest little fears, enough hesitation that probably would have shut me down and not had me explore the unknown world. But I was fortunate to have some people in my corner that always pushed me forward and made me face those fears. And so this next song is really about the accidental fears that we create about the unknown world, and how much we probably limit ourselves from experiencing and seeing and doing. And if we just make ourselves go through, break past those boundaries and those borders, most likely we're going to come out on the other side doing just fine. I should probably play this song in tune for you. There we go. That will sound a lot better. I was born to a world where there were monsters and ghosts ready for the taking if I ventured alone into that wondrous great unknown. So we built up all the walls and they stood sturdy and tall. They kept out the wicked, all the evil of the dark. I was safe as long as I'm inside.
Lying eye wide awake and imagine me strong, fearless of the creatures that would just pass those walls. If I could grow wings, I'd fly. I was born of a princess to a king and a queen. They kept me locked up in their castles so that I couldn't see those dragons breathing fire round me. So one day a knight came with a beast that he slain on his horse with a sword, and suddenly I became as safe as I was inside. And lying eye wide awake and imagine me strong, braver than the bravest of the knights out in war. If I could grow wings, I'd fly. And I'm doing fine, oh, in this undefined. I'm taking that madness, I'm making it magic, and I'm claiming it mine. I'm doing fine. Way up here where it's clear, I have the stars as my guide. There's no one around me and nowhere to hide. There's no longer a safe inside. I'd lie and eye wide awake and imagine me strong, willing to conquer those vampires and wolves. Oh, I've learned to fly, and I'm doing fine. Oh, in this undefined, I'm taking that madness, I'm making it magic, and I'm claiming it mine. I'm doing fine. Oh, in this undefined, I'm taking that madness, now it's magic. Oh, and yes, it's mine. Yes, I'm doing fine. At night, night awake, wonder where those beasts, those ghosts, those vampires, they never appeared. I wonder why I was scared, 'cause I am doing fine in this undefined. Yes, I'm taking that madness, now it's magic and it's mine. And I'm doing fine. Oh, in this undefined, I'm taking that madness, I'm making it magic, and I'm claiming it mine. I'm doing fine. Oh, in this undefined, I'm taking that madness, now it's magic. Oh, and yes, it's mine. Yes, I'm doing fine.
Coming down to the end of the set here, I want to thank Jason Cohen and the entire team here at the Maltz Performing Arts Center. This place is amazing, and what you're doing for musicians right now really matters. Thank you to all of you that are viewing right now, to any of you that have donated. I really appreciate it. And most of all, I hope that I get to see you all again soon. 2020 has been a year, that is for sure. And on Friday, as I was finishing up a set, I received word that we lost Ruth Bader Ginsburg. This woman was an amazing woman. And Hillary Clinton said it best when she said, there will never be another like her, but there needs to be more like her. I mentioned that I recently learned to build a subfloor in my house, and that's because this past December, we bought a house. My wife and I are now homeowners in Lakewood, Ohio, and we were reading the list of things that Ruth Bader Ginsburg made possible today in bullet points. And among those, we read that women could now obtain a mortgage without a male co-signer. There are many things that Ruth Bader Ginsburg made possible for many people, not just women. But when I read that, and I stopped and I thought, here I am, 36 years old, living in Lakewood, Ohio, a woman who will never meet me, made such an impact on my life and on my freedom, and truly brought me the greatest happiness just because of her willingness to never stop fighting. There are many great people that I learned from along the way. Most of my career, my life, I would say, I'm shy, I'm timid, I'm nervous, and it takes a lot of confidence to come out and speak on stage in a microphone, and it took a long time for me to find my own personal voice. And for a long time, I would look to great leaders from our past, both writers, activists, sometimes just members of our city council, that seemed to find it in themselves to speak up for what was right, regardless of the backlash that that might cause. And I promised myself as a musician that if I could not bring anything else, that I would at least be a voice to people who will never have a chance to be heard. And there is a lot that I became vocal about on microphone. And there was a backlash. And there are many times that trying to speak up for what I believe in caused me to separate from friends and family. It caused fighting. It caused hard times. And those hard times I could only get through if I truly sat down and gave myself the time to cry. So I'm going to play you this next song. It's a song I titled Cry, because I believe that the work of Ruth Bader Ginsburg now must go on through us, through all of us, all of those that care to move our country forward. It is up to us to speak up and to stay strong, and that will come with hard times. And in those hard times, we are going to need to know it's okay to take time to cry. So I dedicate this to Ruth and to the amazing work that she has done. And truly, thank you. Do in times when feelings won't come through, watch my world collapse as I became the victim of consequence, consumed with blame. I confess a secret I should not have shown. My truth was more diseased than I could have ever known. I watched it spread and infect all those I loved, till I was forced to face life alone. Oh, I've been there before, pounding that door. I'm screaming, let me in. Oh, but no one ever came. And so all I'm saying is sometimes all you can do is cry. Losing yourself to the curse of worthlessness, disguising all you can, trying just to fit in, leaves a wound that swells when you recognize the only place you're safe is where you hide. Oh, I've been there before, pounding that door. I'm screaming, let me in. But no one ever came. So all I'm saying is sometimes all you can do is cry. Pounding that door, I'm screaming, let me in. But no one ever came. And so all I'm saying is sometimes all you can do is cry. Well, thank you all again very much for watching tonight. Thank you to the entire team that made this live stream possible. It truly was a pleasure to be back on stage playing, and I hope that we all stay safe, of course, but we're able to be together in person soon, before too long. I'm going to leave you with a bluegrass tune, an attempt at a bluegrass tune, anyway. A song off the very first EP that I put out called Secret. Almost there. My name is Diana Chittester. Thank you again for listening tonight. I've got a secret here now, baby, yeah. I'm dying to tell. Who is your secret there? out in the open there now. Baby, yeah, it's likely to fail. Exposed and sensitive, darling, oh, it's likely to kill. I'm singing love, oh, knock me down, oh, I'm begging now. 2, 3, 4, yeah. I've got a secret here now, baby, yeah, how badly would you like to know? Oh, I'm singing love, oh, knock me down low, I'm begging now. I'm singing love, oh no, so knock me down low, I'm begging now. Thank you all so much. Stay safe, and I hope to see you soon. I'm Diana Chittester. Good night.
Thank you so much, Diana. Great show. Round of applause, everybody at home. Thank you so much. We will see you again on Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Ariel Clayton-Karras and Marina Kersey are here. case.edu/Maltz Center. We have big news for you coming up on Friday. Please make sure to like our Facebook page and sign up for our emails so you can be in the know about what we have going on. We will see you again Wednesday, 8 p.m. Have a good night.